Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the G&A podcast. I am the one you have to keep an eye on in the hardware store. Don't let me get anywhere close to that chainsaw. Do.
And I'm glad that we are finally done with Platinum Men, so brony.
And welcome back to the G&A podcast where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb. How are you doing, Oni?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Drew?
I'm doing good. This is a very busy Monday. That's right, y'all. We're recording on a Monday, but yeah, Monday's been busy as fuck. So I'm glad that we can like this is my wine. Excuse me. This is my wind down time. Says I cough a lung out. Fun story? Did you know my friend sent me a gift for Christmas?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, too bad he sent it to like the wrong location. And now it's one thing if it was just like, oh, I just sent it like a few doors down, like, but I assumed that's what the problem was, right? He sent it to this address, and it's like, I cannot find it. Only I cannot find this address.
He sent it to La La Land.
Like, I can't find this address, and it's only a few numbers off from my own.
Maybe it's just non-existent address.
But here's the gag. They definitely delivered it. Showed a picture and everything.
Well, maybe it's one of those ghosts from fucking Mieruko-chan. It's a ghost house.
Bitch, give me back my gift. Listen, I am not afraid of you. So yeah, I literally been like, I spent 30 minutes like looking up and down my street like a crazy person looking for this shit. Like with my flashlight out, like looking at houses.
Yeah, that wasn't suspicious at all, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like I look like I look like the world's worst like robber. And then I just stopped because I'm like, it's actually really cold. It's actually super cold today. So I was like, let me just stop. I'm just gonna give up for today and try again tomorrow. So yeah, that was my day. Fun. All right. So without any further ado, let's start with our new segment this week in anime. We got one piece of news. Oni, will you be so kind?
Yes. So Aniplex has acquired DW or Delightworks, the entire gaming development division of Delightworks to be exact, which is of course the company in charge of Fate Grand Order. Why did I blank on that name for a second?
Yeah, feels same.
Yeah, same. One of those days. So yeah, they acquired the entire division. I'm not entirely sure what that means for the development of the game because the article makes it seem like nothing really changes. It's the same team working on the game and everything. So I'm not sure what role Aniplex is going to play. If it's just going to be like a purely well, we just want the money thing, so we're just financing it and producing it directly now, which is what it seems like it's going to be. So maybe nothing changes, maybe everything changes. Who knows? But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, not. I feel like would it be safe to assume to say that not too much has been like happening in JP, or is it just like, are we over the hump?
We're over the hump. It's just it's a weird hump now because Arcade is getting so much shit, and like we had a lot of stuff in JP for a while now. It's just now we have like just 1 month of nothing happening, and Arcade is just getting flooded with everything. So it feels kind of bad, but who knows? Maybe New Year's will come and they'll be like, "Oh my god, here's 700,000 different events or something."
That Arcade, the Japanese girls are eating. They're eating and they're eating well. Must be nice. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for our news. Only because I have a lengthy filler arc to discuss. Well, in theory, it's lengthy. So with the news out of the way, let's jump right into the reviews, and we are gonna start with, for the last time, Mushoku Tensei Part
No,
2,
not the last time.
Episode 12.
Um, and this is my episode of the week. Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think it ended on a very good note. Like I know this episode wasn't like exciting, like nothing really happened when you come to think about it.
Nothing.
But
Which
I
is
don't
why
mind it
I can't really give episode of the week
because
and
it's
like
a very
it's not
introspective
bad.
episode. It was like a whole character. Like we had to get this episode out of the way for Rudy to move on with his life. I think it was like the perfect way to end this season.
Yeah.
Because this whole season has been basically based around Rudy overcoming his past life and moving on and making a better life for himself. And that's kind of exactly where this left off. And I like the whole imagery of that and seeing him grow as a character and actually have motivation to push forward and start a journey again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just think for me, it just took a smidge bit too long for my taste.
I mean, listen, it could have been a whole arc, all right?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some anime out there that make the whole fucking like 7 episode long. The protagonist is
Which
down in the
I
dumps.
should be thankful. I guess, I am somewhat thankful that that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some of the scenes are cute. The Especially when they just started doing the whole montage of people just doing random shit. I think that was my favorite part of the episode. You
Mm-hmm.
see Paul being reunited with everybody. Well, not everybody, everyone
Well,
but his wife.
yeah, most people.
Most people. Elena just being a
That was
hoe in
funny.
general.
That was actually pretty
like
hilarious.
like you didn't see it. It's like you didn't see it unless you were looking for it. But I saw that curly blonde hair in the corner making out with some dude, and I was like, yes. And then even after the whole bar, like I was like explodes or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see her with
Somebody in the
something,
background.
yeah, right, doing something. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, the bar scene
Very
was the best
fun.
part. That and what's her name? Krishka came back doing
Yeah,
her demon lord. I actually really love her because she's just a fucking troll. Like she just wanders around doing random shit, but has like when you think about it, every time she shows up, she has like an extremely major impact on the story.
absolutely.
Like she just revealed that Zenith is alive and where she is, and then bounces like, "All right, thanks, bye."
Yeah, and she just dips.
Yeah, like nothing happened. Whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, she's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the scenes with Ruijerd, helping people and
Mm-hmm.
breaking his curse.
That was really nice as well.
I love that. They're like, let me see your
Jewel thing.
jewel thing. Yeah, your Shikon jewel shard. Excuse me. And they had a whole laugh, and he's like, I don't eat people, and they all laughed about that. I was like, yay,
It's
he's
nice to see
making
everyone
friends.
but Rudy being happy. Even Eris
Yeah.
was happy. She was like, "Yeah, I'm out here."
I know she was happy.
I'm out here. I'm out here living my
Yes.
best life and getting
And
stronger.
I loved it. And I love she was just like, I love Rudy. And yeah, I guess she was just like,
You might want to put
and
that in the letter. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe.
that would have been nice. But her communications it's never been her strong suit,
No.
unfortunately. And I think she kind of explains why she felt like she left.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she felt like she just needed to go off and get stronger
Yeah.
because she still felt, she felt utterly helpless, you know, when Homeboy came up and just smacked everybody.
Yeah.
So just a journey to,
Which
you
makes
know,
sense. It's why I actually really like the girls, actually, just the girls in general in this show are really good because they're all like, you know how we talk about shonen so much, and like shonen always has the damsel in distress syndrome where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, the girls are always horrible fighters and they suck and have to rely. I
Yep.
appreciate that Eris is just like, wait, I gotta get stronger so I can be the one who protects Rudy, and Roxy's also doing her own. Like none of the women in the show are dependent on Rudy, and when they do find that themselves are
Mm-hmm.
being dependent on Rudy, they're like, oh wait, why the fuck am I dependent on this kid? Why don't I just get stronger and do my own thing?
Exactly.
So I appreciate that.
Yes, Eris is like the only thing I need to rely on Rudy is that D.
She's like, when I'm strong enough, I'll come back for that D in many
Exactly.
years.
Many, many years. Um yeah, that's a really good point to make. All the
Yeah,
female
like
characters are
Roxy, even
just really great.
Sylphie, who shows up at the end of this episode, went off and did her own thing, presumably. And now she's in a position of power where she can just like recommend Rudy to these random
Yeah.
nobles or whoever they were.
Yeah, these really high positions of like power,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. So excited to see where that goes on. The show's over. All right, let's rate.
All right, you go
Uh
first.
I will
Yeah.
go first. This is one of those shows where it's just like it's one of those things where I have to find reasons to not give it a 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it becomes. Because if I don't, because it's like I said, I'm trying to be a lot more strict in the future.
Right, right.
I said that previously. I'm just gonna be a lot more strict with my grading. Uh and mm, I still, I will be giving it. I will be giving it 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for two reasons. I mean, I've given it such a high score, obviously, because it's just been an amazing story from like start to finish. Characters are amazing. The plot's like, what the fuck? Like, this is arguably like the best isekai I've seen.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. At least in the
So
top three.
yeah. It's like, damn, it's one of those things where it's like I can't compare this to Konosuba because they're both isekai.
They're
It's
both
both
very
very different.
different. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like not even fair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I like literally just me nitpicking. I feel that there were some moments, like I said, the ending, while it was good,
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of like feels good. Let's just wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, very, 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 very few moments where just like scenes are just like you know scenes may have dragged on a little bit. Like, oh, it's taking long, a bit long. Not too many. Uh, and my second reason it's getting 9.5. I definitely stand by what I said when this is going all the way back to like
The first
a filler
half.
arc
Oh.
question.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think an anime like this 100% needs, and I think this is in general going forward and just like anime, like could definitely use like a trigger warning because more so than any other anime, this pushed the envelope
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I'm like, yes, the trigger warning is indeed valid for some of these episodes. Not a lot. Well, not a lot, but enough. Enough.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I agree that there were a few episodes here and there that weren't that like they were, the weakest episodes to me were, or definitely the weakest one was the episode with Roxy this season, which hurts me to
Mm-hmm.
say because I love Roxy. That
Mm-hmm.
was a bit slow, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
couple of episodes in the first half of the season that were pretty slow as well. So I do think it's like some episodes do start out slow and it's hard to get through them. But overall, I think, like you said, this is definitely probably the best isekai I've ever seen. I do agree it's not for everyone precisely because of the triggering content. It does very much travel down dark roads more so than I think I've ever seen most anime do it. Like,
Mhm.
because it doesn't just do it for shock value; it does it for like real reasons. So it's very hard hitting. So it's not for everyone, but I think it handles it so well, and the characters in the show are just so like every character feels so alive and so great, and I love them
and
all.
and and
And
human.
human, yeah, they make mistakes. They have good sides and bad sides. They grow and learn and love. Um, so I'm not held by the standard of being more strict. I'm giving it a 10. This is definitely
That's
my favorite isekai. And the only one I even think would even come close would be Konosuba, but they're
mm.
completely different
I mean,
shows.
I'll take out the trigger warning thing because that was part one and this is part two.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are
Well, yeah,
like I
part
mean,
one was definitely harder to get through because of the whole Rudy being at his absolute peak.
yeah, where I
Guy.
saw I'm gonna strike that. I would like that struck from the record.
No, too late. But yeah, no, this is definitely my favorite isekai. And I am super excited to see more. I'm sure, I'm 100% certain it's going to get another season. I'm pretty sure the studio that does it, Studio Bind, was literally made just to make this series. So, um, yeah, I'm 100% sure it's going to get a second season or a movie.
Yeah.
So when it does, we will definitely be covering it because this is
Mm-hmm.
a great show. And go watch it if
A
you haven't
hundred
seen it.
percent. Yep. Farewell, Mushoku Tensei.
You'll be missed. Until next time.
Until next time. Um, let's see. Now we're moving on, and up next is Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Demon Slayer. Uh, season 2, episode 3. Um, which is my episode of the week. And it's
Really?
my episode of the week because it does something that I feel like not a lot of shows do, and that is just get right into the thick of it.
Yeah, they did kind of just like I was expecting the because you know how the last episode ended off with like kind of a cliffhanger, and it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
did Inosuke hear the is he gonna barge in on the woman?
Yep.
And it kind of just, yeah, he did.
Yep, he did. And and we saw what happened as a result.
Like I knew their disguise weren't gonna last long, but damn, they like speed ran that shit.
Literally. I mean, apparently they're still intact because and the cat like everyone else is like just very blind.
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, Inosuke is very pretty.
Yeah. Well, at least one of them was found out by the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Zenitsu, yeah.
Zenitsu, yeah. I actually forgot his name. I was gonna call him Zenko.
I'm just like, first of all, Zenko, that doesn't even sound like it's like that doesn't even sound like a girl's name. You just said the word, it just sounds like Zen, and you just
It
the
sounds
word
like
you just
some
add it.
futuristic currency, like Zenny
Right. I'm
from
like,
the
I
gag.
and it's and the gag is it's like it's literally you just added the kanji for ko, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, yes, is a woman. Like, like I appreciate how like very transparent they're being with the joke.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they find the demon know like she knows that he's on to her. She slapped the living daylights
Phew.
out of him. Um, and yeah, she's so and we find out that she is an upper rank demon. Was the guy from the train an upper rank demon as well?
Yeah, I think he was like rank 5 or 4, and she's 6.
Yeah. And she was 6.
Mhm.
Um, so yes, this is gonna be one of those where it's most likely going to boil down to her versus Satoshida.
Yeah. She was really cute though. Like I said, Well, I didn't say this, but
cute.
yeah, you didn't see it when she killed that woman, and then she like took off all her robes and shit, and she had
Oh
like
yeah,
the
no,
thick
yeah, okay.
thighs. Woo.
Okay, yeah, she did
She
look
was dope.
very
Yeah,
attractive. That is true.
the Demon Slayer knocks out of the park with the thick designs. I really appreciate the demon designs in the show. Too bad none of the demons get much screen time, but you know when they do.
Yeah, I would say she got plenty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, beating up children
All
and
right, that
killing
part wasn't
people.
cool. That was a very
Like,
uncool part.
yeah, it's like I'm like, damn, how are you tugging on that ear until you're
You
like
bleed.
bleeding? Like, that kind of triggered me because when I was in first grade, my teacher she used to pull on our
Yeah,
ears.
mine too. Was it Catholic school?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Mind you, that was only first grade. That never happened after that.
Yeah, because you were too strong at the first grade. You might have fought back and killed
I
someone.
mean, not well, no, because she was like an old strict like Caribbean woman.
Mine was an old, strict white nun.
Oh, tomato,
Yeah.
tomato. But yeah. So she definitely is she's definitely scary. I like how scary she is.
Yeah, super intimidating. Like she roams the halls with like an iron fist. Everyone's afraid of her.
Yeah, even when she came up behind Zenitsu, he's like, "Holy shit!" I didn't sense her at all
Mm-hmm.
until she spoke.
Although these people are stupid, they fell into that one woman who got killed fell into the stupid anime
Yep.
/ horror movie trope where she's like, "You're a murderer? I can't believe you're a murderer. I'm gonna
She's like,
talk about
"Whoa!"
you murdering to your
Right? She's
face."
like, "Whoa!" There are people like you. Are you one of these demon people? And
Yeah,
then she's like, but that was the gag because the demon lady was like, "Wow, you're pretty stupid for saying that out loud. Like,
yeah, like
could
you know
just
we're in a room together. Like there's no way having to
like
kill you.
like that's stupid. Well, bye. I'm gonna kill you now." Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love how they didn't leave anything to imagination. This episode it wasn't anything like, "Ooh, did she? Did she?" And
Yeah.
then no, they answered the question in the
Yep.
episode when she shows them killing people. So I like that a lot. Also, the homegirl killed 7 Hashiras. Damn.
Yeah, she got a body count. She's
No wonder why homeboy was beating up on the other
mm,
dude. He was like, "You stupid weak bitch!"
you killed
Like just one
one. Yeah.
Hashira, and you didn't even kill the others. You suck. Like, uh,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more from this arc. I do love the setup. I expect some very dope battles, especially when the Hashira gets involved.
mm-hmm. Okay. Up next, we have Komi-san wa Komyoshu desu. Komyusho desu. Excuse me. Episode 11. Wow, episode 11.
Yep, only one left.
Um, I feel like this is a good episode. This is a school festival episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where it just starts out in pandemonium or people not designing, people deciding what to do for the festival in the class. And of course it's all their potential decisions are made around Komi.
Yep, of course. This whole class has Komi syndrome, Komi
Yes.
obsession syndrome.
Yes. And of course, even though they all are split on their votes, eventually all it takes is Komi saying the word. I said it was so funny. They didn't just bother to ask the one person whose thought whose thoughts are the only ones that clearly matter on the issue.
Yeah,
Because the moment she said it, everyone's like, and then they all voted for
the maid cafe.
the Maid Cafe.
Which credit to Komi, she has good taste. I would have also voted for the maid cafe.
Yeah, I feel like I want to, like, I want to go to a Maid Cafe in. No, I don't. That's a lie. I was gonna say I want to go to a Maid Cafe at like a school festival in Japan, but I'm just like, do I? I feel like the food's not gonna be that great. The service is gonna be eh. What if they're not clean enough? I'm sorry. I like my standard
I
of service.
mean,
I'm thinking
wouldn't
of
it just
like,
be like a normal cafe? I assume.
I mean, where do they have to cook? It's not like they
Well, you
have an
mean like
industrial
in the like
kitchen.
actually in a school? I thought you meant just like a maid cafe in general.
No, I said a school cafe at a school festival. A maid cafe
Uh,
at a school festival.
I feel like that's low key creepy.
Right. It's like I don't have a reason to I mean, it's like
Like
yeah, I
it's
don't
a bunch of kids in maid outfits. I'm like, no, I'll just go to a regular maid
like
cafe.
yeah, I don't I can't really think of a reason to do it. I don't know, maybe because I just see an anime and I get caught up in the spirit.
Yeah, it's not gonna be as fun as this in the show.
Exactly. I'm gonna get like a cracked cup of water in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like some fucking burnt yakisoba.
You charge $13 per cup or something.
Oh my god. Stress. So yeah, never mind. Taking that
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm.
But I still want to go to maybe I'll go to a maid cafe. I want to go to a maid cafe in general. Eh, I'll I'll
Yeah, you sort that
I'll
out.
reflect on that another time. um, but yes, but then in my opinion, the highlight, one of the highlights of this episode is when this new character named Otori is like, I'm gonna go shopping
Mm-hmm.
or she's asked to go shopping for stuff. And then her in her obliviousness is like, hey, Komi, come with me. And everyone's like, you dare make Komi work?
How dare you?
So it's Komi, this new character Otori, and One-san
Mm-hmm.
character joins her. I forget what her name is. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, it was like Omine or something. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. I'm not even gonna try to guess.
It's like Onimine.
Yeah, I think it's Onimine.
Yeah. Um, so they go to the hardware store and they're buying the equipment. And I feel like this is the first time. I feel like usually Komi is always in that position where she gets taken care of or she gets catered to
Mm-hmm.
because of her inability to communicate with others. I like this episode because for the first time she had to look after someone else, namely Otori, because Otori was just on her own wavelength,
Yeah, she's
on
just
her own, on her own.
wandering.
She was just on her own mission, on her own life.
She was fun. I need more of her. She was just like chaos embodied.
Exactly, and she's just like, oh, what does this do? Like that cat, like those characters in the cartoons when we were younger.
Mm.
You know, those really young cartoons that like the main character had to like look over, but then they put themselves in like really crazy like predicaments where they're all of a sudden they're like about to walk off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly what she was doing. Like, you know, first she almost walks into the I don't know, the staff only section,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just like randomly just grabs a chainsaw for no reason.
Yeah, she was a fun character. I just I like I
Yeah,
love all the side characters. They're all just lots of fun to watch.
agreed.
Especially Yamai had a couple of good moments this episode as well, as always.
Namely, namely the part where she just faints. She quote unquote faints at Komi's dress, but then it's quickly revealed that she's taking like upskirt shots.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. Excuse me. Let's see.
And we also got
Oh,
cross-dressing Tadano.
yep. I was literally just about to mention that, which I'm not gonna lie, he looked really good in that wig. That was a really good wig.
Yeah, it was a cute outfit. His face kind of killed it. Like I wish he had a more feminine face, but you know what? The outfit was nice.
I felt like the outfit and the wig were so good. It's like I don't know, he looked cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how Comey was just like you know, I remember a few episodes ago when they were at the water park
Mm-hmm.
and he got all of Komi's hair in his face, and then he's like,
Oh yeah, new
there's
fetish.
like something awakened with him
Mm-hmm.
that day. I felt like this is one of those moments, but it was a Komi instead.
I wish they kind of played that up a bit more. Like,
Yeah, that
Komi
I
has
wish they did
acquired a
too.
fetish.
Exactly. But they definitely let us know that Komi was like, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
love this. So that was very funny. I didn't expect Komi to be all like, oh yes, like
She
she was
was in it.
definitely giving me some slight Fujoshi vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cute. This is a cute episode.
Yeah, it was. It doesn't feel like it's the penultimate episode. Like, I'm used to anime just having like some, like even comedies having some kind of like plot or stakes or something. So
Mm-hmm.
I actually do appreciate that this is just no, it's just a fun show. I'm gonna feel sad when it
Yep.
ends.
Yeah, same. Same indeed. But speaking of comedies lacking that penultimate feel, let's
Mm.
move on to Senpai ga Uzai Kohai no Hanash. Because yes, just like you said, this did also not feel like a penultimate
No, it did
episode.
not, and it definitely does not feel like again anything going on between the supposed main characters Futaba and Sakura because this was all
Nothing.
Sakura and Kazuma.
Literally the entire episode. It's like even the end, I feel like they tried doing it, but I don't know. They feels like
I feel like the show
the
gave
main
up on them.
right, like the main couple, even though they with the fortunes and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the fortunes gave me a little bit of hope, but it's like even them like fighting about it didn't feel romantic. It's like they're just yelling at each other.
You know what it is? It's that well, it's hard to see them like romantic for some reason, but also anytime they try to get romance going, it kind of just devolves into a joke. Like they don't actually have the romantic moments that Sakurai and
Not
Kazuma have.
one,
Like the show doesn't
but
let them.
like maybe I feel like maybe at the beginning, like when she was like falling asleep on him,
Yeah, like at
kind
the
of.
very, very beginning, or like when he protected her from that guy in the train or whatever. But
Yeah,
since then, it hasn't. It's just been like every time they're together, it's just for the purposes of doing joke.
yeah, and this episode was no different.
Mm-hmm.
But our main couple,
Yeah, the main character, real main characters.
um, I don't know. Should we make them a couple name? I'm thinking either Sakuzama or or Kazurai.
I like Kazurai.
Kazurai. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Kazurai, they're having a good time spending their first New Year's together. Even then it was so cute because the circumstances were perfect. The little brother was like, "Oh, I forgot I had another party to go to. Bye."
Mm-hmm. Those
Excuse me.
bounces.
I know. By the way, that would have been really messed up if she just left her by herself.
I feel like it was like super awkward because Sakurai was like, now it looks like she was just using her brother as an excuse to have
Yeah.
Kazuma over. Like, oh yeah, my brother's not really here. It's just us.
Absolutely. Not that Kazuma cares.
No, I'm pretty sure he was happy with it.
Yep. And then even after she burns the dinner, they just first of all, I was like, there's no way you burnt the whole pot. You had enough at least for like one serving of whatever you were cooking.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine because either way, it was still cute. They just end up eating ramen, watching TV. Very respectful, very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
um, Thinking of people putting people together on purpose. Shout out to my girl Natsumi for just being like, "Oh wow, oh hey Takeda, you and Futaba should hang out. I'm gonna go do something else, literally anywhere else. Bye,
Yeah, later.
bye." Uh, and then they have this whole section about like fortunes and whatnot, which I kind of didn't understand at all.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
very a very Japanese thing. I was not paying attention to it at all.
yeah, apparently, from what I gathered, it was just like, hey, these are the apparent ranks of luck.
Mm-hmm.
And
What's
they just
my
kind
luck rank?
of shut up. Now everything's FGO.
No, it is to me.
um well then maybe you should get Vodka Girl to pull for you
Yeah,
because she apparently
that's what I said. I was like, damn, she needs to pull my. I think somebody said that, right? Like, bless my gotcha or pull my gotcha or something like that in this crowd.
yeah, so one of the girls was like, no, pull for me, please. Yeah, because she kept getting apparently the best fortunes, like repeatedly. And they apparently both got basic bitch fortunes. So
makes sense. It's very fitting with the show.
right. And it's like, they end up getting like the same one being like, the one that you're supposed to be with is right next to you. And it's like, I'm like, are y'all sure about that? Are we sure? The thing I did like is towards the end, which like you said, Oni, it's the part where it's very comedic about their quote unquote relationship, where eventually Kazurai is talking to the reporter and they start, annoyingly start talking about what you call it, Futaba and Takeda. And Takeda's just not Takeda. Futaba just watching on TV more and more, and then she realizes that they're talking about them, and I think it was the Cosmo was like showing pictures to the reporter.
Yeah, he showed her the picture of the way back in episode 1 where she fell asleep on top of him in the train on Takeda.
Yeah, and then she's like, I see the Takeda. I gotta go for a sec. And then you just hear the TV. It just cuts to her just being the chef.
Just wailing on him.
Just wailing on him. Which was so funny.
Yeah, that was the funniest one of that episode for me.
Absolutely. But then, of course, I don't. Was this post credits?
I don't think so. It was right after that. It was right after he got beaten the hell up.
Yeah, where he's sitting in her lap, and then she goes and gets him something to drink, and the girl's like, "Hey, yeah, together." He's like, "Yeah, random girl." Like, hey, yeah, like she literally looked like she came from freaking Demon Slayer. She's like, hey, y'all together? No. Are you sure? No. Do you like her? Yes. Oh, then you should probably be together. Why? Here's this picture.
He's like trying to blackmail her. I swear this kid is just walking around trying to like blackmail people or like get dirt on everyone.
Exactly. And she almost succeeded. But Sakurai intercepted the picture. And as the episode comes to a close, it's a close-up picture of her kissing Cosmo's forehead, and very cute. I'm like, yes, come on, main couple.
Yes, it was super adorable, and their relationship progresses again. Also, he even admitted that he liked her, which is not something he's done before. So, like, their relationship actually, like, this is definitely one of the better relationships in anime as far as actual growth and like, romance goes. Like, there actually is a very nice romantic element to this.
I feel like Takeda and Futaba is just like what we normally would expect.
Yeah, it's like the juxtaposition is like, here you have your average anime couple, just people who are really just friends and no progress whatsoever, and on the other side you have an actual couple.
Period. I don't know. For some reason in my mind, I predict that they're gonna do like a season 2.
Probably.
Where they're actually gonna, because it's like if they don't do season 2, then what was the point of this?
Imagine the last episode is just Kazuma and Sakurai.
Just literally just
doesn't even show up.
They just confess their feelings to each other. Takeda and Futaba are just like in the background being like, yay, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's it. And like, we're going somewhere as friends. Like
Yeah, I think at
that's
this rate,
it.
Natsumi and Sakurai's little brother are gonna have more going in their relationship than the other two.
Yikes. I hope not. I hope not. Mm-mm. But yeah, that is Senpai got Uzai.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And up next, you got Takt, op.Destiny, episode 11.
Yes. So Lenny's still dead.
Thank you. I don't know why you felt the need to rub that in my face, but thank you.
I was curious to see if they were gonna do something to make him come back to life. All right.
No, still very much dead.
But it's fine because it was a good episode. It had actual plot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened with the conductor and the purple crystals and all that shit,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. He touched them and it was just like grow or whatever. You know, it's very much giving Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, I got some serious like Kingdom Hearts vibe from this episode.
Yeah, it's like the darkness. It's coming over. The Heartless are spewing out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
All the Keyblade warriors are coming out and killing everyone, and then defending the castle.
Our I knew she was gonna come back, but the one Valkyrie from that random episode came back just to save the girls. I'm like, oh, finally you make your appearance.
I feel so bad for her. They always just do her so dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I hate
Oh yeah,
characters that just
she got knocked out.
not and before that she literally just got like dragged by fucking Tox. He's like, you stupid useless piece of shit. I wasn't fucking talking to you. Of course he's like, you don't look good, you're feeling terrible. Of course I'm fucking terrible, you dumb bitch. Like and you're like, no, this is so bad. No, you must have that. And then they just knock her out. They're like, shut up. Like they're like, yes, we're thankful you rescued her, but shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Just be quiet.
Poor Valkyrie.
Like, right. Like she just came back just to get like physically and verbally abused and then knocked out. Mm-mm. I did like that even like during the middle of like all the fighting. There's a lot of fighting, which I appreciated.
Oh yeah, finally.
So those moments where, you know, um what's her face? Destiny is still like kind of making jokes about going on a date to Titan. Like, you know, they're having a back and forth about it. And she starts making like jokes about popcorn. First of all, I'm like, how many different types of popcorn did you have? Like
lots of different
like
types of popcorn.
is that like I'm like, you were like strawberry, like strawberry, raspberry, rainbow, like what?
When the regular popcorn just won't do.
Right. That was a lot. One thing that didn't make any sense. Why did Anna kiss Takt? I was like,
so
what?
I did think that there was a thing between them way early on, like first episode early on. Not, but after they started developing Colette and then Destiny, I'm like, oh yeah, no, so there isn't a thing. Now it's like, oh no, we're back to Anna again.
I'm like, what the? And you know, assuming it the first time because you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna do all this development with her and Takt, so I was like, oh.
Exactly, that makes sense. But then there was like, nope.
Like that's weird. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, it is kind of weird. I'm not super against it, but
it's weird. Because there's just it's no build up. This is like the opposite of the relationship of Takeda and what's her face, or maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's kind of the same thing.
Well, and also she was pushing Destiny and Takt together to begin with,
like a lot. Like you guys go out and have fun with yourselves. Like at least Anna was also. I'm glad Anna was also like, what the fuck just happened? She also was like, I don't know why I kissed you.
Maybe that's something they'll play up a second. Like if we have a second season, there's going to be drama between Anna and Destiny, I guess, fighting for Takt.
Ew.
Or maybe it'll be just like my dojins, and they'll both get with Takt.
Or maybe it'll be like my dojins, and then he'll come back, and then he gets a talk.
All right, but fine. Only if we get Destiny and Titan together. Then
Sure, yeah,
yes,
they're cute.
yeah, it
I'm here.
works.
I'm here for music art lesbians. Yes, I mean, I hope their fusion is nothing like the one between Hell and
Oh
Heaven.
God. Actually, you know
Yeah,
what? Shout out to everyone out there who
I
likes Demon Girls, because
yeah,
she was a pretty hot Demon Girl.
yeah. No, she lovely design.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, they will just get stabbed by. What did they? I don't. What did they get stabbed by? Was that like the thing that like caused D2s?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna call it the D2 rod,
The D2
and
rod.
and his both get stabbed by it, and then they just turn into a puddle of black goo.
Yeah,
And then they're
it
like,
wasn't the cutest transformation sequence.
it was not. And then they're just like, the Orpheus comes out, and she's like, I'm a woman. Yeah, she's about to curb stomp these toes.
Yeah, but I'm glad
Still,
we
I'm
actually
just
got some
like,
fighting, and
yeah,
if anyone's gonna be a final boss, I'm glad it's her. All right, I'd take her over the other choices.
agreed. Even though I don't think we have any other choices left. Well, good. I'm like, good luck to my man Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right. All right. No, I already passed the next episode. Up next, we got Mieruko-chan. The last episode, episode 12.
This was almost my episode of the week, although this episode was also kind of slow in parts, but I really liked it.
Agreed.
I really liked because they paid a lot of attention to Yulia and Hana and Miko's like just relationship as friends, which I appreciate.
That's true. It's not just oh my god, ghost. Like,
Mm-hmm.
although I do like that you know, Miko does actually acknowledge the whole ghost thing
Oh yeah,
to
she
Yulia,
finally does.
even though it's a very, very small
Mm-hmm.
acknowledgement, like a very small scene. Excuse
Yeah, I
me.
think it's literally just Miko being like yes or yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, that stuff would scare Hana.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally left it at that.
Which is nice. I'm glad. At first, I was kind of upset they were doing that thing where she just doesn't tell anyone she can see ghosts, but now I kind of find it interesting, where she never really acknowledges it to anyone except in very small ways.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Let's see. Oh, I love how, and I think this is like, I love like the comedy in this show is so interesting. It's so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very much like, in some ways, it feels like The Office, like, or like very like kind of dry
Yeah.
ish humor, because it's not super, it's not exactly slapstick. Because I found it so funny that after, you know, Zen, all his spirits are cleared and everything, you know, the mother stops haunting him, the spirits stop haunting him. And he's like, yeah, when she said, let's be free, let's just, you know, I just act however I want to act instead of like how people I think I'm supposed to act. And then the old lady was like, I got you some leftovers. And she's like, I don't want your leftovers. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if you put any hair in it. Take it. I'm not interested. Goodbye. And
Mm.
just slams the door in her face. And then the gag was, she was like, oh, how did he know?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
like, what? Big
what?
top 10 anime plot twist.
Right. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love that. It's like a little mini side story that's like completely unnecessary. They didn't have to do any of that, but the fact that
Oh
they
my God.
did just makes it fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but isn't that folklore that like if you put your hair in the food?
Yeah, it's like the person likes you or something.
Exactly. It's just like normal hair, right? It's not
I
like
hope
pubic
so.
hair.
I gotta hope so.
I don't know. Just making sure.
According to legends I've heard, it's pubic hair, but I don't want to picture
Fuck,
that.
I know. I've heard. I definitely thought like pubic hair came to my mind because I feel like I heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, thank God. We see, we were out here yelling at him for throwing out good food the other week, and now
Right.
he was the one who was in the right.
He really was all this time, like about everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's just awkward.
Although,
And
did they imply he killed that guy?
well, hmm. I mean, hmm.
I kind of like how if he did, I kind of like how he just moved on from it. like
Because
I
I
found
peeped
you.
that too.
Bye.
They're like, the guy's like on missing poster. Oh, I hope they find him. I'm just like, wait, you didn't report him to the authorities?
Yeah, what? So where is he?
Yeah, that's like for my notes is then quote unquote captures the animal killer.
Mm-hmm. Damn,
That's
he probably killed him
crazy.
with his own thing or like tortured him with it. Oh my god.
Oh god, yeah, because whatever that thing was, it
Yeah,
did
whatever, that
not look
giant
nice.
pincer, like he had like pincer's horns from Pokemon.
Right. Being torturing poor kitties.
Mm. But yeah, I like that the show does all that little stuff to like build up lore and world building around the characters.
Yeah, exactly. That whole quote unquote dream
Mm-hmm.
where she goes to the shrine and is like trying to hit offerings, which, even if it was a dream, that was still like a good thing where like, because once again, it's like the stakes for her. It's like, oh shit, they didn't like her offering. Oh my god, they turned it into mush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're closer. Like,
Yeah, it was creepy.
getting closer. Okay, now spirits are coming out everywhere. So,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
based on how it ended with them like just appearing behind her, I have a feeling they're not very happy with her.
or at the very least, they're not done with her.
Yeah, I think that they definitely expect something. There's like, yeah, we didn't save you 3 times for no reason.
Exactly. And at that point, I would have said maybe the ending would have been like, oh, this ending's it's a little lackluster, because even in that scary part, it wasn't like crazy anything for last episode. But then if you watch all the way to the end,
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I was like, all right, yeah, I got me.
Yeah, this is the perfect nice follow through with the jump scare at the end.
Yes, because mind you, they in my mind, do they often do like this episode is brought to you by X, Y, and Z? Do they ever do that in most of the episodes, or did I just think that up myself?
I don't remember. That's the thing. Like, I don't remember them ever doing that, but I'm like, they must, because
We can.
sometimes they do it.
I mean, bitch.
Check.
That is why I have the computer right now. Mieruko-chan.
But yeah, that was just like, I thought I had like a corrupted file or something.
Me too. I was like, that's scary as fuck. Wait. Oh, sorry. This is episode. That's episode 12. Episode 11. Yes. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Nope. They do not do that in episode 11. So I was just like, oh, that's interesting. I guess because the final episode, they're saying shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I'm because now I have to know. I went to episode 10 just to double check. Yeah, wow. No, it was literally just for last episode.
Damn.
Ooh, that makes me like it a lot more.
That
Ooh.
was a nice fake out. The show does a lot of great little things like that, like little attention to detail things.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a good. Surprising. Like this was a surprisingly good choice.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like a fun turn your brain off show, but it actually turned out to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Shall I rate it?
Yeah, go for it.
Um, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it worked solidly as both a comedy and a horror. Like it was legitimately scary at certain points. The designs for the ghosts were great. I never really felt like they were like too samey looking or anything. Like all the ghosts feel very unique. Um, Miko herself is just I love her as a character. She's a very different type of protagonist, which I appreciate. The setup is good. There's a lot of little twists and plot elements that were nice. Yeah, it's just a good show overall. I can't fault it.
Hmm. Okay, I'm going to give it. I'm gonna give it a solid. I think I'm gonna give it 8.5. I was gonna give it an 8,
Mm,
but I think as you know, like most anime, like it just kind of got better slowly and
right.
slowly just kept like wrapping up. More stakes, more things are happening. I mean, because it's kind of like deadpan. There's some points where it's very like I don't. I want to say slow, but it's like it's almost like it's very low energy.
Mm-hmm.
So this anime is definitely not for everyone. Like this,
Yeah, it's not like a knee slapper comedy like slapstick or anything like that.
yeah. So it's a very specific kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Like this is something I would show. I don't know who I would show this to. I mean, I get. Do you think people who actually are like, excuse me, people into horror?
It
You
would
think people into
depend.
horror would really like this?
If you're into horror, but like campy horror, like you like Jason or like Friday the 13th, like you like to have fun at horror movies, I think you'll like this. If you're someone who likes real horror, like you need to be actually scared and stuff like that, or like you like psychological thrillers, probably not because it definitely leans more on the funny, campy side of horror than it does on the real horror.
Yeah, agreed. Like it'll be a moment where it's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and then something funny will happen,
Yeah,
and she's like
exactly.
saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, no, okay, that makes sense. Farewell, Mieruko-chan. Don't
Hopefully, there's
get,
ever season two, please.
yeah, maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. Um, all right, last anime, the podcast, Platinum, and
We're not covering the next episode. We're dropping this after this episode, right?
wait, I kind of want to see how this
All right,
ends. One more
fine.
episode, just one more. Yeah,
Fine.
I want to see how the conclusion of this stupid fight.
God, this dumb fight.
So I reached a conclusion that the person who did this, the man who created this,
Mm.
he's definitely did this show for like laughs. Like he did this for a good time. Like
Did he
he did not take
though?
this serious. Yes, he did not take this show seriously. There's no way.
You say
There's no
that, but then I
way.
feel like there's definitely times where it tries to be serious. Like the whole like that moment where Mikaido's with his daughter and stuff, they definitely try to play that up emotionally.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, like it's not. It's emotion. It's as emotional as a generic anime can give. Like,
Yeah, like with no build up or anything, but it just
No, like I'm convinced the creator was just like, I just want to do this to have fun. He had to. I really
I
won't.
refuse
I
to believe
won't.
otherwise.
Yeah, I refuse to believe otherwise. That's my truth, and I'm sticking to it.
I definitely think he did for certain elements, but I feel like he also wanted certain other elements where he actually tried. Like he tried writing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he like, for example, these villains that he just put up, the
Yeah,
crazy
like
bio
that.
warfare girl. No, he just did that for fun.
Yes, like I'm just like that's how I said. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he's taking this anime seriously. Like
That was so dumb.
like, completely. Like this feels like it feels like only a 12-year-old would be
Yeah,
writing
I
this
was gonna
shit
say like
seriously.
I when I was like in elementary school or like junior high, and I would just like try to write really stupid, crazy stories. It would be
Yes,
like this. This was what I would write.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly what
The
it
girl
feels.
has like a super virus that kills thousands of people, and like don't put any effort into how she created this virus or anything like that. Just like, and she can.
Nope.
It's tied to her heart, so when she dies, everyone dies with her.
Guys, yeah, and like, if you use mind tricks on her, their mind chip activates and also goes off. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what it's giving. Uh, and it just really like once I realized that, like after this, I realized that, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm a lot more okay with this dumpster fire. The episode builds like it starts off with this dude talking about his feelings for this one girl, and I'm like, bitch, I don't care.
Yeah.
I do not care. Why are we so on this?
That lasted for longer than it should have too.
So long. He's like, oh, this is what it's like to be in love. Oh my god, thank you, mom and dad, for giving life to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because blah 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 blah. Shut up. He is shot by Red Arrow. He is under your command. He'll fight for you. The end.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the part where like, oh, we're gonna fight 4-on-4. Let's put these put this kid and wife down on the ground, even though you spent the entire time kidnapping them, so you could take out the others. But now that they broke out, you're not. Okay, sure. And this is when I realized it's not gonna be like this is another point where I realized like he's not taking this seriously because it's like a 4-on-4 fight. Then it becomes like this little like you go and then you attack and then
one at a time. You
like I'm like
you.
this is literally the like Naruto. This is actually just early Naruto. The sound escaping the Sasuke shit.
I will be the final boss. I'll wait here.
Like you literally said that verbatim.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, even if it is played for jokes and stuff, and it's not being serious, I still don't find it entertaining. Like, I like Gendo Guardian.
You're right.
Is not serious, but I found it so much more entertaining.
Because that shit was, because that was like that was so unrealistically like nonsensical. Yeah. Like it had so many plot holes. It was just what the fuck. Like yeah, no, I just it has to be, and just because you know it's not a fun dumpster fire doesn't mean like it's like you tried making a fun dumpster fire.
Yeah, maybe he's such a good writer that he can't. Like he's
like
trying
to
like, dumb down his writing, and it's just like, oh, I can't. I'm too smart and good for this. That's how I want. That's how I want to think of this.
Exactly. He's like, I'm so good at writing that it's like my attempt of stupid fun shit is just turning out to be bad now. Mm-hmm. Poor thing.
Yeah, how sad.
Like it's just all like that whole episode was just like just silly. It was just silly.
So super silly.
So yeah, looking forward to see how
the final episode next week.
Fight, yeah, how they beat Homegirl, I guess, whatever. All right. done with that, and it's time for our filler arc. So I was just on the computer as always, and shout out to the friend of the channel, Savior. He tagged in something on Discord as a joke. And the article for Anime News Network is basically saying that Ken Nakamatsu, the creator of Love Hina and Negima, aims to run for Japan's legislature next summer. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I first I read it just to be like, whatever. Okay, we're gonna talk about government and stuff. But in the interview, I feel like they don't really talk about. I mean, they do, but they don't talk about like why he's running or how he's running. Instead, they kind of ask him, I guess, certain questions. I guess it's kind of based off of what his main talking point is for what he's running on, or his main platform, which is to protect the freedom of expression. Right. So that's the platform he's running on. So there's just like some questions that I guess they ask, and one of the main ones, which is like the main point of this, it's gonna be the main focus of this filler arc, is they ask him for his opinions about you know, how does he feel about certain certain voice actors of color playing certain people of color in shows and whatnot. According to the article, Abima Times interviewed Akamatsu for his thoughts on The Simpsons. You know, they said that they're gonna stop using white voice actors to play people of color that show. You know, of course, the most famously Apu.
This is like the most random thing to ask.
I know.
Japanese politician.
I know. That's anime. A gag. I was like, oh, because I'm like, this came out of nowhere.
I'd be like, I don't fucking. That'd be like if I was running for politician and somebody asked me like what I thought about the NHL's policy about new fucking skates. I'd be like, what? Whatever.
So, excuse me. And his answer is very politician, right? I feel like it's at least the first half is, you know, I feel like we can agree on it. He says, it may look like an excessive reaction when looking at things from Japan, but foreign countries have their own particular issues, so I will refrain from simplistic criticism and instead observe the situation for a while. So that was part one. I'm just like, yay. And then he says, however, I will say that the move to select actors on their race rather than their individual talents appears to go against the path that humanity has walked throughout history. And I'm just like, So I don't know. I found that quote funny because he's like, this is a, you know, crazy, seems like crazy in Japan. So I'm not gonna say something that'll, you know, criticize this. And then literally in the second half, in the nicest way possible, he's like, this shit don't make no sense to me. And I'm just like, okay, girl, so you still are showing you're still showing your bias to someone who's from Japan.
I'm just like, is he running for like ambassador, or is he just like a mayor?
He's running for House of Representatives. He's running for the House of Councilors, which is the
what does it have to do with foreign animation series?
Yeah, excuse me, no idea, but I just found it interesting that he just started talking about it. I was just like, I must keep reading. So according to the article, when asked how he would feel as a creator about casting decisions regarding foreign language dubs of his works, he responded that based on his prior experiences, basically he said in Japan, a voice actor, like we just hire who we want to hire. But when it comes to the foreign language dubs, that we lead to the dubbing company. And then they eventually get to the main point where he talks about freedom of expression. He says that I am, quote, I am very curious about the current movement overseas to erase or remove past works. Osamu Tezuka's manga had a quite few discriminatory expressions. When it's standard in Japan to leave an explanatory note about that while preserving the work as it was in the past. As works that feature discriminatory expressions undergo more and more regulation, may become impossible to see those works. However, when it comes to the works that will be created in the past and future, I see absolutely no problem creators such as myself individually applying our own discretion and consideration while having our freedom of expression protected. I hope that both sides can maintain a good balance. So basically he's like, yeah, there might be anime with some shit in it, but we'll be fine. Like as long as we can, like, as long as we keep maintaining that, like as he said, as long as we can maintain that balance, like be like, yes, hey, this is, I guess he's like saying, hey, this is kind of problematic, for reasons. At least that's what I got from it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it sounds like he just wants to be like, we will have problematic stuff, but we'll like put disclaimers on it and being like, yeah, this was problematic, but like Disney kind of does this, where it's like if you watch a Disney show from like, how they have those racist old Disney stuff, those Disney cartoons. I forget if it's Disney or if it's like Bugs Bunny or something, but one of those shows where they have like racist old cartoons.
Yes, but definitely Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes, yeah, maybe it was Looney Tunes, where they have like really racist old stuff, and then if you watch it now, there'll be like a disclaimer, and it'll just say like, we be warned that there is misrepresentation and from a different time period, etc., etc.
Yeah, which I feel like that's appropriate. And now in this last paragraph, in this last paragraph, I'm gonna read real quickly. It says, finally, he commented as follows on the claim that anime characters are modeled on white people. Quote, Japanese creators such as myself are not thinking of our characters as white people when we draw them. Take the Sailor Moon protagonist Usagi Tsukino. Excuse me. For instance, she may have blonde hair, but that's simply a manga-like expression. In her previous life, she was a person from the moon world after all. It may be possible that fantasy worlds such as this may become the subject of criticism. Dark elves and other fantasy races may also come under fire. I foresee various issues coming into debate in the future. Now, this is where I had to be like, we have to pull over. Because I believe it's one of those things where it's like, I believe you think that way. Do I think that's the truth? No. I think to say even though Japan is essentially, far more like it's in the east and it's definitely somewhat isolated from, a lot of just Western shit in general. I would be like, to say that all together that you are no way influenced by the Eurocentric standard, I would call bullshit on that personally. I would be like, there's no like that I can't.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree with
believe.
that because it's like an
Like you're
unconscious
not
bias.
like it's incredible. Like because I thought about it, I'm just like, okay, but notice how it's like notice how homegirl got blonde hair, like homegirl other girl long black hair, and it's like, okay, no, long black hair. I guess you can write that off as Japanese.
Mm.
Blonde hair, girl with blonde hair, girl with brunette puffy hair, other girl with blonde hair, other girl with a short pixie cut, like dirty blonde hair. There's plenty of anime characters that very much just look like they just look they look like white people. Like it's like you're not drawing these people after yourselves. Like
I
I would
think
say no, I would say that there are other anime, including in Sailor Moon, because I said it's a bias. It's not the overwhelming thing because it's like there's a bunch of anime where it's just girls with all different kind of hair colors, and at that point I would say like yeah, that's clearly not based off a Eurocentric standard. Like you're just giving a bunch of girls with colored hair.
yeah, I'd say yes, in that I agree that there is definitely like a Eurocentric thing with like anime characters being white, but I don't think it's that big a deal. I saw a good video on this once where it's kind of like, for example, when you're creating something and like let's say you're trying to create like I think they were using World of Warcraft as an example, and there's like this race of characters in World of Warcraft that are just like pandas, and they're from the Far East, and they have the gong sound effect thing. Like, because you can only create certain when you're creating something new, you can only draw on it from your own experiences, and those experiences are like inherently going to be biased in some way or another. So if you're thinking like, I need a race of people from the Far East, pandas, uh, gong sound effect. They're like you're gonna like intrinsically just put like Chinese things on there. So it's like that kind of thing where it's not like you yourself believe you're making Chinese race people.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
It's just like because that's your experience, you're gonna connect dots in your head unconsciously.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I agree. I'm like, you're not. When he says I'm not, when he says like we're not thinking of our characters as white people when we draw them, I'm like, I agree with that 100%. You don't think of them. However, do you definitely model them after the ones that you've seen in media? Yes,
pretty much.
Absolutely. Because at that point, this was like these characters were created in like the 80s and 90s. I'm like, y'all definitely had television at that point.
I'm wondering now, that brings up a weird question, if I wonder if there's like a distinct influence of like Western comics in anime or something, like, or in the original manga. Like, who started the style of making the characters look more European? You know, like where did that first originate from and why? Like maybe because if you look at older, like if we really want to deep dive into Japan culture, like if you look at older prints and stuff, they clearly look Japanese. It's not like like old paintings in Japan. They're not looking like, they don't look like Miko.
Exactly, and like everyone's design is very much like like they look more Asian, black hair.
Like, yeah, yeah, they don't look like Goku. Goku's distinctly not found in ancient Japanese artwork.
Yeah.
So at some point there was definitely some Western crossover where it's like, oh yes, we're just gonna borrow the Western standard of character creation, which I don't mind. I just feel like,
yeah, no, I don't at all. Yeah, I was just like, that's very interesting that that's kind of how they thought of it. Because before it especially when I was younger, I just assumed, I was like, you make them white people. But now that I'm older, and I have time to like think about it a bit. It's like there's definitely like, I'm like, sure there's a bias, but I don't think it's very it's very subtle and
Yeah.
covert and not malicious per se.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say malicious by any means, because like I said, yes, they have some designs that are, you know, you could definitely see the Eurocentric features, or I like at least like in their hair or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, once again, they in that same cast, they also have a girl with long blue hair. They have Sailor Pluto with long green hair. They have Sailor Mercury with short blue hair, you know, etc., etc.
Yeah, they have the whole
So
rainbow of color.
exactly, and Usa
Mm-hmm.
with her pink hair. So yeah, so I thought that was pretty. I don't know. I thought that's like very interesting take to hear it from their mouths.
Yeah.
It's like okay, that this kind of makes sense, even though I don't completely agree with you, but this makes sense. Um, I want to walk back to, excuse me, when that quote where you said, selecting, I would say that the move select actors on their race. Where he said, yeah, quote, however, I will say that the move to select actors on their race rather than their individual talents appears to go against the path that humanity has walked throughout history. I'm like, yeah, so
Out history is a bit of a
this,
strong word.
right. I'm like, this is a really, like, that's a really strong statement. Do you understand what that means?
Mm-hmm.
One. And two, um, you know, it is, I feel like I can tell that there's definitely there's definitely a lack of, what's what I'm looking for. Like I feel like there's definitely some ignorance in this statement.
Yeah.
It's an ignorance in statement, and it's, that it's the ignorance of, like, implying that, yes, I may be choosing someone that might be black to play a black role, but who's to say that they're not talented enough
Yeah.
to
It's not like
play
they're
a
pulling
black
a.
role?
They're not pulling me to do like a black girl. Like they're
Exactly.
like, oh, quick, get that black guy crossing the street.
Exactly, like, exactly, which was my problem with this quote.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, no, it's just back in
Yeah.
the day, they really just weren't going too hard. Like, they weren't trying too hard to find, voice actors of color. They were just like, who are voice actors? Here's our roster.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Yeah.
roster for, big surprise, mostly white. We're doing Slatin roles. Moving on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's how the industry acted, for a very, very long time. So yeah, that one kind of was like, that one was kind of like, interesting, you know. Uh, you know, now that we're in the time where we are, I would say that what he said doesn't really apply, because there's just like, we can get anything for anyone. It's a chance of it's a chance to give opportunity to people of color who do have the talent,
Yeah.
you know, that their white counterparts have.
Yeah, I
Just
think it
like,
basically comes down to like if a character is black and there's two people who are equally qualified and one of them happens to be black, probably want to give it to the guy who's black just because.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't better. They say that he might be able to imbue the spirit of the black guy better than the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Um, even in the Simpsons thing, like, if you're going to make a stereotypical character, it's like, but what would be better? Like, what would be better than to just get an Indian guy
Yeah.
to play a Pooh, and then just have a white guy do a stereotype of of an Indian person? Just get an actual Indian person. Because like, it was gonna play a caricature. Not that because I'm not saying Like this is not about to me turn this into a stereotype this, how dare you, and stereotyping these people, blah blah, because I thought about it when I was reading this. And you know what is so funny? When in anime they stereotype the fuck out of Western people. Like when they do caricatures of us, it kills me every time.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like the Aryan race, Aryan race people, blonde hair, blue eyes, and it's either the most worst broken English or it's okay. They just go, oh, blah 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 blah.
You know, I don't like they'll be in the middle of Times Square and everyone's white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Exactly, like that. Like to me, that is hysterical. You know, I understand what it's like to do a caricature. So, but you know, once again, Japan does not have a full set of American people at the helm.
Yeah. In the case of Japan, if they're doing like a show and there's a black character or something, I give them a pass to not use a black. If they don't have any Japanese speaking black people in Japan or whatever to pick from, I can understand.
Like yes, it's like yes, we get it. You're incredibly homogenous.
Yeah,
and that declining birth rate isn't helping. But over here, where there are a lot of people who are all very capable, just let us have our thing. I hope that if and when he gets elected, he'll keep that in mind and keep an open eye on that. Just so that we know, because it's we're not trying to constrict any expressions. We just want the best people for the job.
Exactly. And I hope that his first act as whatever seat he's running for is that he makes a remake of the Negima anime, but like done by UFO table, please. Thank you.
Oh, hey! And I want the whole thing.
Yes, all of it.
I want the whole thing.
All of it. Do you know how many volumes there are of Negima? I just finished sorting my manga collection, and I realized I'm like, I have 26 volumes of Negima. How many volumes are there? 38.
Oh my god,
so long.
Oh my god, it is very long. It is very long. I keep thinking like 30. Yeah, 38. That is a lot.
It is a lot. Negima is a huge series.
Huge.
Where's my Negima gacha game, Ken? Huh? If this whole politician thing
doesn't work out, old. They won't give it. They won't give that.
Don't say that. Oh.
It's too old.
But tell me it would not make the perfect gacha game with all those characters.
I would not. I would never play that because it's like there's too many girls. There's too many. There's too many girls.
But there's some guys.
There's too many girls. No, I don't want them. There's too many girls, and I like some of them, but then there's just not enough guys, and I'm just like,
It would have been.
It's just like, I rolled for the 5th version of Negima. Like,
it would have been the FGO killer.
Potentially, like, well, not now, but
not now. But like, if they were both at the same time or something, it would have been a thing.
Yeah,
man, he was ahead of his time.
Indeed. Thank you, Ken Nakamatsu. I look forward to seeing the great changes you make to Japan and regarding their expressions, whatnot. But with that being said, that was a fun conversation. I enjoyed that.
Me too.
Yeah, so we're done with the filler arc, and we are also done with this podcast. Oni, would you be so kind to take us away?
Guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the G&A podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you can catch every episode as they go up. If you haven't already, do follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party over on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. If you'd like, you can even become a channel member or patron, like all these lovely people on screen right now who make the show possible. You also get access to some perks, like we're going to be doing a new set of live watches with our patrons and channel members. If you want to be a part of that, we're also going to be having a poll a patron only poll for anime that we should cover next season. So if you want to be a part of that, because that is rapidly approaching, then you know what to do. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Everyone have a happy holidays, whatever holiday you're celebrating. Have a good one. I was gonna say have happy New Year, but no, we're gonna record again before the New Year.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back before then.
Yeah. So drink your eggnog or whatever traditional
Your
holiday,
and
traditional holiday beverage or food that you enjoy to drink around this holiday, and have a happy, safe one. Wear a fucking mask if you're traveling to see your families. Okay. Amarion ain't playing.
Yes,
he's about to he about to give you the bump.
God, I want to listen to that song.
Right, me too. Literally, it's like some people are saying like, "Oh, poor Amarion, he's getting dragged because of this new variant." I'm like, "Hello, this is great press for him."
Yeah, he's about to sell so many albums.
What? Hello, and let him start doing another round of the Millennium Tour.
But on that note, this has been Silveroni and
Droopy Doo.
I'll catch y'all later. Later.
Bye.